Home Run Pet makes some standout pet products, and I am thrilled that they just gifted me this automated feeder. So let's unbox it, set it up, put it to the test. Now this is how it comes out of the box. Now once you take off all the plastic, this is what you're looking at. To start off with, you have this metal bowl, and this is standout to me. A lot of feeders have metal bowls, but not as high quality as this one. It has weight to it. It feels really, really nice in my hands. And this is going to sit in this holder right here, which will connect to the feeder. And that's nice too. It has a little opening where it's easy to take this out. So you can just wash this whenever you need to keep this nice and clean without having to take apart the feeder to get to it. As for the feeder itself, let's open this up. On the sides, it has lock-unlock latches, and they're on both sides. And once you unlock those, you can take out the entire main food tank, and then you can look inside it. Very simple, very clean, and this is what I look for in these. I don't want something that's hard to clean down here. I want to make sure that I can get to all these components very easily. It has this hard piece in the middle that's going to make that spin. It has the large opening where the food's going to come out. And then on the bottom here, you actually have your power port, and it does come with your cord. It has a pretty basic AC adapter on one side, and then it goes to USB-A on the other. And it does actually come with the power adapter. I always love when they come with the plug. And so you can plug it in, or you can use batteries. You can also have the batteries be your backup. So I'll be putting that to the test as well. And then it does have an on-off button at the bottom. I really appreciate that it has this, as sometimes you do want to turn these off, put them in a cupboard, put them out of sight, and not have them keep running even if you have batteries inside them. So that's a nice addition. And it has these nice little raised rubber feet here as well. So I'm really liking this. And then on the front here, it has 4 lights and this button, and it has this quick start sticker that I can remove, but I'm gonna leave that on for now until we can put that part to the test. And then you have the 4-liter food tank. I like that it is semi-transparent. It lets you see how much is there without making it super visible. It does have a maximum line that you can see on the back. It's not on the front, so it's only right there in the back. The top has a lock. You have to push down and then pull up. So it's not easy for a cat to get into. And then on the tippy top here, you'll see that it has this little desiccant holder. And so you can pop a desiccant in that. That's gonna keep the food from getting moist or getting gross. It just keeps everything dry. And it does come with your first desiccant packet. You can obviously get these wherever. These are not Home Run Pet specific desiccant bags, but they do make quite a difference with these large feeders. And then down in the bottom of the tank, you'll see that there is a little silicone spinner that will spin and help the food go down into that opening right there. This part's really nice to clean. And then this is your main feeding compartment. And this does pop off. Let me make sure I don't break it as I do this. You gotta spin it pretty good, but this does all pop off. So you have this plastic compartment. And then once in here, you really can get in here and wash everything. So you could have this soak in some vinegar water if you're really trying to sanitize it, whatever you need to do to get this clean. There might be a way to take it apart even more, but I'm not seeing, I keep yanking on it and I'm not seeing a way to take it apart. And even though the manual shows that these are separate components, I'm not figuring it out yet. Maybe one of you will, but it is really straightforward. Essentially, the food is going to be pushed down into this. These are your little feeder sections, and this little top comb-like pieces are gonna make sure that the food's getting pushed down into those feeding compartments, and they're gonna spin out that hole in the bottom. So once you get that all clean, close it on up, pop it back in, make sure it's locked. And then we want to add on the feeding bowl. And for the feeding bowl, it really does just pop right into these 2 openings right here. And then it has these red clasps, and these are to make sure that it never comes off of the feeder. And these will just pop in to lock it into place. So that is ready to go. I'm really liking how this looks. Very clean and streamlined. So let's plug it in. Now the cord is in, it's about 4 feet. Let's turn it on. It is now on. You can see this is flashing blue. A moment ago, it was flashing red. When it flashes red, that means it needs more food. When it flashes blue, that means it's not connected. So I need to connect it in a moment. And it also shows the suggested kibble size. It doesn't want it too big. Now my cat eats large kibble, dental kibble, which is just a little bit larger than that size. So this is going to be a bit of a test if it can handle this larger kibble. It is designed for smaller kibble, specifically up to 12 millimeters. So if you have a large kibble like I do, this might not be the feeder for you, but we'll see how it does. This is going to be a bit of a test. Now I'm not putting too much food in it because I haven't washed this yet. I did wash the bowl. Before I put this into regular rotation in my household, I will give this a full cleaning and let it fully dry. Now, of course, my cat had to come and see what's going on here, so I'm gonna lock that down and let's set up the app. Now, I just opened the Home Run Pet app. I already have the app. If you don't, you can download it from Google Play or the Apple App Store, and you will need to create an account. But once you have it in, I just opened up the app and it immediately recognized this device and it wants me to connect. And then it wants to connect to my Wi-Fi network. And that is the best in my opinion, as it means that I can check this even when I'm not at home, make sure it's working. Because that's when I care the most, is when we're on trips or when I'm not getting home till later. I want to make sure that my cat's gotten fed even though I'm not there. Now it wants me to name it. I'm just gonna name it Smart Feeder. And going through setup is pretty simple. It has a night mode. My cat is very excited. I'm sure he's thinking this is going to feed him pretty soon here, which it will. But I need to do the setup first. Now it asks if I want to have night mode running. That means it will actually turn off the lights at night. And yes, I do want night mode. So I'm gonna have it turn off the lights at 8 p.m. and turn them back on at 8 a.m. And then I can create a feeding plan. Now, when it comes to portions, you saw those sizes. They are probably 1/24 of a cup, but depending on your kibble, you may get more or less. Considering how big my kibble is, I expect that it's going to not be as consistent in how much it feeds. It might give one more, one less, and it's going to feed less per portion. So I'm gonna do 5 portions for a feeding cycle. And then I will feed him every day at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. But we're just gonna stop there for now, as I can add more portions. I can give him smaller portions throughout the day, whatever I want, but we're just gonna leave it at 1. And of course it asked for a firmware upgrade. That is very common with these devices. Make sure you keep the firmware up to date. That's gonna ensure that your device is working as it's supposed to. Really important, especially with pet feeders, automatic litter boxes, anything with my pets. I wanna make sure that the device is working as intended. And so I'm just waiting for this firmware upgrade to go through. Firmware is updated. Now let's go over this app, as it is very clean. And again, I can access this when I'm not at home. First off, you have your child lock. And this is key, as this will make it so this button doesn't do anything. Otherwise, this button can give a single feeding manually when you press it. And the other button right here is night mode. So that will, or should, turn off all the lights here. And when I press it, let's see if it works. Yes, turned off all the lights. So that'll keep it nice and dark at night so you don't have something glowing in the room. Then it's telling me when the next feeding is. And it gives me a calendar of what feedings have occurred. Down at the bottom, I can do the feeding plan and I can add more meals for him. And then I can also just dispense food immediately via the app, which I'm gonna test in a moment. But let's go up to the top and see what the settings are. It shows that the food bin has sufficient food. The desiccant has 30 days remaining. Now the desiccant timer is Really simple. It is just a 30-day timer that you just hit reset in here. Then it has the feeding plan, child lock, night mode. It also has a food jam detection and a feeder detection. So it's keeping an eye on what's going on in the bowl. Let's put this to the test by giving him some food. I'm just gonna do one portion for now, and I assume the first portion won't even work because it needs food to start filling all the spinners. So let's do that. Oh, and it worked the first time. And let's see, it gave him, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 6 pieces of kibble, which is actually more than I expected. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do single portions a few times here just to see what the consistent portion is. I've been teasing my cat as I just ran a single portion about 7 times to see how many pieces of kibble to expect. And I'll run it one more time for him now. You can eat now. And each time it's consistently doing somewhere between 6 to 9 pieces. So there is a little bit of a range there on how much it's feeding him and something I'll need to keep an eye on. But that's specifically because my kibble is too large as I expected and as it warned me. So that's the only concern. Otherwise, this is so clean and consistent. I love this nice big open bowl here. A really, really pretty feeder. And I'm not done yet. I'm going to add in those batteries and set it up at his feeding area and see what he thinks there as well. I think he really likes it. Now, before I add those batteries, I did want to show you this real quick. It does show that suggested kibble size, that you have to press the button twice for manual feeding, that the LED indicator, white is normal, red means you need more food, blue flashing means you need to connect to Wi-Fi. And when you have the batteries in, these lights will show you how much battery life you have. Now let me turn off the child lock here. And I'll turn off night mode as well. My cat keeps headbutting the camera. And I'm gonna just try the manual feed here too. That works exactly as expected, and it gave him 8 pieces. Now I have my water fountain and need my feeder to be in a room that doesn't actually have a power outlet accessible. So I'm actually gonna take this out and we're gonna test it with batteries now. And this does require 4D batteries. So let's pop it open and get all these in. And you may notice there's this little black spot here. That is a reset button if you ever need to manually factory reset this. Okay, those are all in. And you can see it's blinking red because it doesn't have the feeder on it. Let me get that on there, lock it into place. And I love that it's showing me the 4 dots that the battery is at full capacity. I have used automatic feeders in the past, and I am confident this will last at least 4 months, probably longer, since all that battery really needs to do is manage this thing so it can keep track of the time and do the 2 feedings a day. Now I'm back in the app and I just wanted to make sure that this would work exactly as it does when it was plugged in. And yes, indeed, it gives me all of the same settings, and I can see at the top that it says 100% battery. So that is fantastic. Now let me put the bowl in it so I can have it run. I'm going to dispense 1 portion, make sure that works as expected. And it works exactly as expected, and it's being much more consistent and providing the same amount of food every time as well. So I can figure out exactly how much I need to give him. I'm gonna leave 2 for my kitty since I'm teasing him here, but I'm gonna actually put the rest back in the top since he's already ate this morning. But this is one really, really nice feeder. I am impressed with how slim it is, yet it has that 4 liters of storage. So this is really gonna last quite some time. My kitty really likes it. It's a win all around. If you're looking for a very reliable, easy to use, easy to manage and clean automatic pet feeder, this is one really nice feeder.